Hey all Performance Lab fans, this is Morey Croson. We're giving away free online breakdowns to all of our subscribers. In order to enter the drawing, just click the like button below, subscribe, and comment my online breakdown. Enjoy the rest of the video.
All right, what's up everybody? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we have another new breakdown for you today, and this is going to be the ultimate quarterback mechanic video. The reason why is because we're going to have Tom Brady on here, we're going to have Aaron Rodgers on here, we're going to have Drew Brees on here, we're going to have Patrick Mahomes on here. Overall, I think a very well-rounded group of top-performing quarterbacks in the NFL. And since I already have it on Tom Brady, we'll just go ahead and get it started here with Tom Brady. And the idea of this is to see some of the things that are correlations between all of them and some of the things that are differences between all of them. I've been doing some comparisons with them in speed videos that I might as well try it within the quarterback videos, and this will make it so we could then go through a few more guys a little bit more quickly as we are able to explain to you some key mechanic part or principle. So big thing that we see with Tom Brady is big amount of internal rotation on that back leg. Notice how when he pushes off that back leg, see how much he turns that hip in there to get his momentum going forward. Now notice also he has a very bent, very stable front leg, and now he's going to transition all of his weight forward. He's big on getting full extension within his arm, getting a lot of extension there, and then coming all the way through. I think overall his body, he has a little bit longer torso, and so he utilizes a lot of staying back within his torso, right? So see how his torso is back here. He's getting his hips to go forward, and then as he comes through, he uses a lot of his torso to come through the actual throw, and that's where he gets a lot of his overall momentum from. But very, very stable on that front leg, very controlled on that front leg as he's coming through the throw. Also, a little bit interesting of a finish where he's coming all the way over to the side. I know one of the big things that him and Tom House talk about is that they want one arm kind of going this way. So notice how his left arm's over here, right arm's all the way over there. Just something that I think is a thing to overall consider. Next one let's go to is Aaron Rodgers. This is another kind of different one here. So this one is I think the best throw out of the bunch. I want to do all of them where they're in kind of shorts or t-shirts or not having pads essentially. So one of the big things that Aaron Rodgers does is he's going to create so much overall rotation within his lower body. Look at how much he tries to move in his lower body as he's creating that throw and coming through. So he's creating all rotation, and really it's rotation within his ankle, because I mean he's not super stable within his ankle. He's very loose. Look at how he starts off in all of his weights kind of on that inside part of the leg, and then as he's coming through, he's rotating, even pushes up off the ground, rotates all the way to the outside part of the foot. Same thing with the hip. Starts with that when he first steps, he has a lot of weight on the inside, and then rotates all the way very quickly, and then does the same thing with the spine. Rotates all the way through with the spine, and then finishes with his whole body all the way across as well. Uses that opposite leg to kind of come off to the side to help him stabilize a little bit, but that's something that is very, very interesting, very, very important to notice as you watch him throw. Notice also the elbow height and the position of the finish compared to Tom Brady, where he has that left hand really close to his chest, and then his arm is also coming kind of off to the side, a little bit lower, not so much of a like lean to the side as we saw with like a Tom Brady's a little bit more upright in his posture, but is also leaning a lot more with his lower body. His lower body's all the way off to the side where we saw Tom Brady, where Tom Brady's lower body was facing a little bit more towards the target, and then upper body was way off to the side. Transition that into, let's do Patrick Mahomes. Why not? This was actually an interesting video because he's trying to throw as hard as he possibly can. It's like a little competition video between him and David Carr. So this is essentially watching a pitcher throw. Okay, so if you guys want to see what a pitcher is going to look like when they're trying to throw a football, then why don't you just watch Patrick Mahomes throw, because it's essentially the same thing. You're saying that when he was a pitcher, he threw up to 96 miles an hour, and again, that's essentially what we're watching here. So notice big, long stride there as he's loading up. One of the things we do in our actual Patrick Mahomes breakdown is we break down what he does within that front leg. Not going to be able to do that as well with that front angle. Notice a very high elbow angle when he starts off there, and then drives down hard with that front elbow. So he starts off high there, drives down hard, and as he's driving down, he leans over with the spine. He has a very, very stable leg, but notice how he keeps his knee a little bit inside of his foot, and then as he comes through, he gets a hard rotation to the outside with that front leg, and he also comes down hard during the actual throw, and then finishes all the way through. Look at how fast he's able to move that arm. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to make it so he leans so far over the side with his momentum, with his body, and also create such a elasticity within that front hip that he's going to use all that energy to then go down hard and really fling that arm and end up everything forward. His upper body's forward. Look at how his arm is really far forward. His leg is very, very straight but very, very stable, and that back leg is kind of flinging off to the side as he finishes through, which makes it so he puts a lot of overall torque on the throw. Last one that we're going to do here is Drew Brees. Drew Brees is a very, very interesting guy in what he does, just because he's almost a combination of all of them. And so what we can see here is, let's go and find a good one here. Notice also high elbow, right? Similar to what we saw with Patrick Mahomes, pretty high with that arm, and then also pulls down hard with that arm, and then is also pretty straight with that front leg. But as he's coming through, notice how he's going to try to keep that front arm to come right back down to his side. He's not going to try to go as far off to this side. He's going to be trying to come more down here. He's also going to kind of fling that leg off to the side a little bit there as he's coming through. That off arm is going to stay close to that left chest. It's not going to come back across this way like what Tom Brady does, but it's also not going to overly pull him down, kind of like what Patrick Mahomes does. So he tries to maintain a little bit better overall posture. He is kind of leaned over to the side a little bit, but he's not coming down and forward kind of like Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be a little bit more upright, a little bit more Tom Brady that way, but with the ending of the arm, I'd say a little bit more like Patrick Mahomes, and also with the stabilization with the front leg is a little bit more like Patrick Mahomes. Where the big odd thing that Aaron Rodgers does is that he creates so much overall rotation within that hip and makes it so he can get all the way over to that side. All right, so yeah, guys, I hope you guys like this video. I would definitely, if this is the first time you've seen one of our videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. We are going to be able to, or we're constantly changing up our content. We want to make it more entertaining. We want to make more people be able to understand what you're trying to do within the throw, how you can be more effective in the throw. There's not one way to throw a football. I hope everybody understands there's a million different ways, but there's one specific way for you to throw the football. We want to help you figure that out. We want to help you better understand your anatomy. A lot of it has to do with what is your body height, what is your body size, where do you have overall biomechanical strengths and biomechanical weaknesses. So that kind of went into with Tom Brady. He's a little bit longer up top, so he uses his length up top as a advantage. Drew Brees uses a little bit more of his whole body just because he's a little bit of a smaller guy. Everybody's a little bit different. Aaron Rodgers has a lot of overall range of motion within his hips, so he uses a lot of that hip range of motion in order to throw. So yeah, we want to help you be able to succeed as a quarterback. So if you're interested, go ahead and click the link below, and we'd be happy to add you into our program. Thanks, and we will talk to you guys soon. Watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you could subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.